everyone. Welcome to another live edition of Ksports Sunday for July 26, 2009. I'm Ben Weiner. Later on the show, we'll have a special report from Connor Pertain and Bobby Kravitsky and talk with YSA founder Jimmy Young. But let's first get caught up with all of today's sports news. It was 15 years in the making, but Jim Rice finally has a plaque in Cooperstown. Earlier this afternoon, Rice was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in what would have been his last year on the ballot. The former Red Sox slugger was an 8-time All-Star, 3-time home run champ, and won the AL MVP in 1978. Rickey Henderson did not have to wait so long. He went in the first ballot with 98% of the vote. The all-time stolen base leader was welcomed into the Hall of Fame alongside Veterans Committee selection Joe Gordon. The Sox could have used him today. John Smoltz had another rough outing, giving up 6 earned runs to the Baltimore Orioles this afternoon. The Sox offense wasn't much better, putting up only 2 runs in the losing effort. The bullpen, however, was a bright spot, pitching 3 scoreless innings. Yesterday was also a much brighter day. John Lester took the mound and looked good early. John Lester is going to get Brian Roberts for the first out of the game. Later that inning, he gets Adam Jones. Now the Red Sox get some offense from David Ortiz, back, and it's going to clear the wall for a 3-run home run. Pedroia and Bay will score. And then Jacoby Ellsbury in the second inning will add to that with some pop in his bat. He'll get an RBI double, and Jason Varitek will score from second. Here's Matt Wieters. He gets an RBI single, and the sliced bread is the best thing since Matt Wieters, if you didn't know that. Reynolds scores, and Ty Wigginton went to third. And then Cesar Torres got an infield single, and Ty Wigginton scored. Now here's Jacoby Ellsbury. He's going to double again to knock home Nick Green. But the main highlight of the day was the newest member of the Red Sox by the name of Nick Marquez strikes out. John Lester gets his 9th K. Here is the highlight of the day with Adam LaRoche gets a 2-run home run off Henderson. Lowell scores and hits his first home run since being a member of the Red Sox.
A 2-run shot that has the Sox on top 7-2.
The Boston Bruins didn't waste much time replacing Aaron Ward on the defense. The Bees signed former New York Ranger defenseman Derek Morris yesterday to a 1-year, $3.3 million deal. This comes only days after they traded Ward to the Carolina Hurricanes for a 4th-round draft pick and former BC standout Patrick Eaves. For the first time since 1998, Lance Armstrong finished a Tour de France without wearing yellow today. Armstrong would finish this year's Tour de France behind American teammate Alberto Contador, who won his second straight tour. And finally, earlier today at Giant Stadium, the Mexican soccer team put a beating on the USA Gold Cup. Final 5-0, a lopsided victory. USA can't dwell too long on this loss, however, as much as the World Cup qualifiers begin in just a few weeks. A little later, Connor Pertain will have a special report from McCoy Stadium in Pawtucket, the site of the longest baseball game in history, with a 33 win over the Rochester Red Wings in 1981. Recently, a few Little Leaguers in Rentham tried to one-up the big leaguers with a 36-hour baseball game. YSA correspondent Bobby Kravitsky has the report.
Pick any Saturday in the spring, and baseball fields are filled with kids playing the great American pastime. A few weeks ago in Rentham, over 800 young people took playing a game to a whole new level. Once again, another record in the Guinness Book of World Records would fall, courtesy of the Rentham Youth Baseball and Softball Associations, this one for the longest baseball game ever played.
Hi, I'm Bobby Kravitsky for YSA Back Talk, and alongside me today is Terry McGovern, the director of Rentham Youth Softball and Baseball. Terry, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Most proud of the kids of Rentham. The way they've responded to this event and the way they've rose to the occasion and took it, in some cases individually, learned lessons from it.
Did you have a good game?
Yes, I did. I played anyways.
Oh, trooper.
Starting at 8 a.m. on Saturday, June 6th, one game after another was played. With an eye on the 39-hour mark, players got pledges for innings played, and the money raised went to 7 different charities, including Kurt Schilling's Pitch for ALS, March of Dimes, and the DARE program.
After having played at least 36 hours of consecutive baseball, you are going to see a lot of runs scored. And as we check the scoreboard behind me, it is currently 342 to 327, guessed over the home in the 97th inning of this marathon baseball game, which has featured over 800 players, some of whom played between the hours of 12 a.m. to 6 a.m.
They were all for it. I mean, there was some, hemming and hawing about it, and probably some complaints, but I was out here last night, watched every pitch, and they really had a blast.
I knew my kids would be excited. They did not want to play at the 3 o'clock in the morning slot, but they said, can we play at night sometime? So we figured, do it at midnight. This worked for our season. We took a game from last week that we were supposed to play and decided to play it at midnight instead.
And how did you feel about playing at midnight?
I was really excited. Yeah.
Adrenaline took you through it? You weren't tired at all? You were ready to play?
Yeah, I was ready to play.
The game ended just after 8 p.m. on Sunday night, and the new mark is just over 41 hours. The final score was 348 to 339 in 101 innings.
I don't know if you can go much better than this.
Over 7,000 pitches, 1,700 batters, and an unofficial count of over 6,000 hot dogs.
Good day in the field for John Dean?
I had 2 errors.
He's got the heart, though. That's all that matters. Future Red Sox player, we'll see.
Will they do another attempt at the longest day of baseball?
It's too much of an undertaking to do twice in a row. What we would hope is that it spurs other communities around the whole country to do similar events. That would be ideal.
But Wrentham Youth Baseball and Softball have set the bar pretty high for another town in America to play the longest game. I'm Bobby Kravitsky for YSA Sports.